A new one for us.
Yeah.
Well, now let's move on to dogs. And we know they can be our best friends, but some of them push the friendship by making a lot of noise. Have you ever wished you could understand what their barks mean? Well, maybe with some new technology like this.
Sit, boy. Hey, look, he's trained. Shake. Uh-huh. Speak.
Hi there.
Did that dog just say hi there?
Oh, yes.
Bruh!
My name is Doug. I have just met you, and I love you. My master made me this collar. He is a good and smart master, and he made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel! My master is good and smart.
It's not possible!
Oh, it is because my master is smart.
Cool. What do these do, boy?
Hey, would you go de acuerdo contigo? I use that collar. Watashi wa hanashima to talk with. I would be happy if you stopped.
Well, unfortunately, that's not possible yet. But did you know that one of the most common complaints to local councils is about barking dogs? And there can be big fines for owners. So what can we do? Well, please welcome Pooches at Play co-host Lara Shannon.
Hey! Hi, Lara. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, Lara, welcome to Studio 10. What are some of the reasons that dogs bark excessively?
Well, firstly, that's what they're meant to do.
Right.
They're there to warn us and tell us that someone's coming to the door. They also do it, look, attention seeking is a big one. Boredom, anxiety can have a bit of an issue as well. As people walking past the house, all sorts of reasons, really.
So we've got attention-seeking, excitement, and separation anxiety.
Yes.
Limited socialisation,
Yes.
which sounds like me.
Which means haven't had enough, yep.
And boredom. So how do you tell the difference? Because it all sounds the same to me.
Yeah,
how do you tell the
it
difference?
does.
How do you know why
And
they're
the
barking?
big issue is anxiety and boredom actually share a lot of the same symptoms.
Right.
So these days we actually are over-diagnosing our dogs a lot with anxiety when in fact they're just bored.
So the same as we're doing with people.
Pretty much. And it is really about, you know, a lot of dogs aren't getting enough of the stimulation, the mental and physical stimulation that they need every single day to help keep some of those problem behaviours at bay.
Right, so keep your dog entertained, it's less likely to
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
barking.
Give them something to do. But of course, dogs, you know, if they're out the front yard and people are walking past, the postie, bikes, all of that, what we really want to do is we want to, you know, if they are reacting, which dogs do again, we want to kind of get them away from that. So if you have a dog that stands at the fence line and they do tend to just bark at everyone going past, try putting them in the backyard.
Yeah.
It can be a bit obvious
thinking.
at times. And also we can hide, you know, inside the house if it is anxiety, then really you can keep them inside the house, which can help a lot with anxiety, and put on the radio or television to help mask those noises outside that might trigger them.
Right. So they're basically like teenagers.
Exactly.
So what, if you do get an official complaint from the council, what do you do as a dog owner? What's the first thing?
I would give the council a call first of all, and just if you feel that it's not your dog and you're pretty certain about that, they will ask you to keep a diary as well, because normally what's happened is someone's kept a diary about the dog's barking. So you can keep your own diary to prove that it's not your dog. But also it might be worth having a bit of a chat with the neighbours to find out if it's happening earlier in the day or later in the day. So then that helps if it's
So
anxiety.
would that be like, you know, Monday 9 a.m, dog not barking? Monday 10 a.m, dog still not barking?
Yeah, no, just the barking dogs. I've had to do it myself, to be honest. I've had someone complain.
Really?
I was away. So it definitely wasn't even us. There was no dogs there.
Wow.
So I was able to keep a diary of other dogs that were barking and prove that it wasn't us.
Right,
Yes,
so
so
you say,
that's a
I
good
heard
thing
the
as
dog
well.
bark here and it's not my dog.
Yes, exactly.
So we've got the techniques for helping. So maybe try the backyard, or maybe try inside with the television. What else?
That's right. Don't reinforce it. So many times when our dogs are barking at us for attention, we give it to them. Back door is a big one. Let me in, let me in. And what do? We yell to be quiet, which we've given them attention already by then.
Right.
Or we go in and we let them inside.
Right.
Now, they've just got exactly what they want, so they're just going to keep doing it.
I'm confused though. If they're barking because of boredom or neglect, don't you want to give them attention because that stops them from...
That's part of a whole enrichment plan. So the big thing as well, people go out, leave their dog at home alone all day. Dogs are not designed to be left home alone. They really need human companionship, or they need things like these great interactive toys you've got there.
Oh, these are for dogs. My mistake.
Yes, they are. So something like this, you can put their treats in there or their kibble. So they can play with this and it helps them, like someone like Crumpet, this gives her mental stimulation as well as physical stimulation.
Right.
Things like this Kong is awesome. You can freeze meat. And they can spend hours working how to get the meal out. And it's a bit like mimicking what they would do in the wild as well. So that is a great one
Can
for
you get
big
it
dogs.
out? It's not a...
Dogs,
So
they'll find food in there,
So
absolutely.
you stick something in there and then they try
Freeze the meat in there and it gives them something to do
Right.
because dogs need exercise, they need walks every single day so that they are tired, they need trips outside of the house with you, they need interaction with human, playtime, tug, play ball with them, you know.
So would this work on Jono as well?
I reckon Jono would respond really well to that.
Right. And what are these things? It's just
This one's another one.
thing
You put treats inside of there. They roll it around. This one's great for a lot of dogs because they want to know what that rattle is as well. So they can spend hours playing with this, and they're foraging for food.
And I believe this is what experts call a tennis ball.
That's called a tennis ball,
Right.
and it needs a human at the end of that. There's no point leaving a dog to play with a tennis ball or a soft toy if no one's there to interact with them.
But they could prepare a cricket ball for the Australian cricket team.
They could do that, and they could spend hours tampering with that ball.
Yeah, just give the dog a bit of sandpaper.
So, a couple of short-term tips?
Oh, really? It is about not giving in to that. Attention seeking is a big one. We reinforce that all the time. So ignore it, and the moment that they're quiet, yes, reward that. And that's sort of similar as putting it on cue as well. If your dog barks, put him into an obedient sit, stop, yes, and reward that. And then you can start their barking, okay, stop, and reward that
So you
behaviour.
kind of, not punish, but you sort of stop the barking before you...
Yep, and when they stop it, that's when you mark that quiet behaviour and you teach them that that's the behaviour that you want.
All right, now let's say a dog owner's tried to get their dog to ease up on the barking. At what point would you advise them to seek a long-term remedy?
Look, if they are getting a lot of complaints from the council, I would, or from your neighbours as well, and if you know that your dog is just continually barking at you for attention seeking, that's when I would get in an experienced trainer to help, because you need to find out what is going on, and particularly if it is anxiety. But again, really, a lot of it has to do with environmental enrichment. There's a lot on our website about that, and I'm really passionate. That really does help stop a lot of problem behaviours.
Right, and if even that doesn't work, you just shut the door and watch Pooches at Play, which is back on Saturday for another series on 10. What can people expect?
Oh, we've got lots going on, a lot of behaviour issues. We go in and look at some, some serious case studies and hopefully give some people some tips. We've got a lot of 10 celebrities joining us. We've got Jono, we've got Ita, we've got Janine Ellis on this weekend, Julia Morris is joining us. Yeah, so we get to meet them and their Pooches, a lot of health tips.
Must have sent the invite to my Hotmail account.
Yeah, no, you're on. We've got you next
Oh,
series.
series 2,
Yes,
I'm in a lot of shows, series 2.
I think actually you're going to be in my behaviour and training one, Joe.
Right, I can sit down and beg.
That's for the people, not the dogs, yeah? I love it. Well, Series 2 of Pooches at Play starts this Saturday, the 31st of March at 3 p.m. on both the 10 and Win networks. Lara, thank you for joining us here on Studio 10.
Thanks for having us. Thanks, Crumpet.
Ahead on Studio 10, would you